Paul Reed Smith Silver Sky SE, Paul Reed Smith Silver Sky. Am I really missing out on anything? Will you tell us? Hey, James G here with Tarpley Music in Fort Worth, Texas. But remember, you can always find us online at tarpleymusic.com. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do. This is a question that's come up quite a bit on the Paul Reed Smith Silver Sky versus the Silver Sky SE. Is there a big difference? What are the differences? And so we are going to give our little 2 cents on it. But what I'm going to do is basically present the info to you and do some audio of all the pickups clean and let you kind of decide from that. Are they a little different? Well, of course. But your budget and what you're looking for, I mean, that's completely up to you, right? So there are a lot of similarities in both guitars also, but let's just talk about some of the differences. So the SE has a poplar body, and the American will have alder, so there is that. The SE does have synthetic bone nut. This is a real bone nut. This one will have locking tuners. The SE just has standard vintage style tuners. The radius is a little different. 7.25 on the American, 8.5 on here. And then the way the neck is made, they're both made out of maple, but this is actually a scarf neck, and then this one is a multiply neck. So what a scarf neck is, if you think about, there's a piece of board like this. Well, the headstock angles down. So they will take a part of that board, cut it off, and then reshape it and scarf it back up to the neck. So it gives that angle on there. As for a multiply, several layers of maple to make this neck. So I've read and heard a lot of different variances on it. Some people will say, oh, all the glue of the maple will, or all the glue of the multiply takes out sustain and things like that. And people are going to say, and they always have their opinion stuff. But one thing is multiply is very, very durable because it has a little bit stronger in that sense. So once again, it's not necessarily, in my opinion, better way the neck is made. So there are some of those differences. Of course, the pickups are different pickups. It's the same style. They are the 635 JMs, and then the SE has, if you look it up, it's just this S, right, in quotations. So I ended up, because I've played both, and I have my opinion on which one I would pick, of course, and the one that I like, and blah, blah, blah. But I really started going out and looking at from the statistical standpoint of how the pickups are, from the DCR or the Q factor or, the resistance and the magnets. They're both Alnico 5s. And so those numbers are a little different. But generally what I've heard and read and listened to is that there's a little bit more clarity and brightness, out of this, as opposed to a little bit more of a mellow kind of tone on the SE. So for me, both are great tones, right? So there is a little bit of a difference there. So you can get into the nitty gritty of the DCRs, like the direct current resistance and the resistance peak and all these kinds of things, but just plug it in and play it, right? That's really what it comes down to. But it was interesting seeing that, there's really not a whole lot of difference between these two pickups when you look at it from that standpoint, but there definitely is sonically. So what I wanted to do, which is A and B, both of these guitars, play some really, really similar stuff, just going through all the cleanway switches, and you can decide what you hear. Now, obviously, what I can't give you in a video is how these guitars feel in your hands and stuff. I will say very confidently that both of them are built rock solid. Okay, so I'm not going to there's not one that feels inexpensive or cheap in any way. They both feel really great. But the necks are, they're going to be a little different, right? I mean, every guitar that you pick up. So what we're going to do is we're actually going through a Boss GT1000 core. It's actually my Boss GT1000 core, and I've just got it going through a tweed amp setting with just some reverb on there, and we're just going to go through all the positions, and then I'm just going to swap the guitars. I have an AB switch, and then play the other one through all the 5-way switches, so you can really hear what the difference is. I haven't changed anything in the signal flow into the interface, and just kind of go from there. So here is It's just like any other, three single coils guitar. This right. So you've got your position here is where just your neck. You got your next one is the neck and middle, and then there's the middle, and then there's the middle and bridge, and then the bridge. So we're gonna start on the neck pickup only. Neck and middle. Middle. Middle and bridge. All right, so now we have switched over to the Silver Sky, and I'm going to do the same sequence of pickup switches and same lick. Here we go. All right, neck and middle. Bridge. Then bridge. Okay, so I know that's a really quick run through of just kind of clean sounds and everything, but especially with the video, you can go back and forth pretty quick, right? And just kind of hear those differences. Same lick, going through the same, just switching through, everything's open. So we're trying to be very, very fair about how we're presenting, because the truth is I think they both sound great, different ways, and you'll get all over the internet and find that players saying different things. And so a lot of it is what is right for you. Like I said, a lot of similarities in these, right? They both are made out of maple neck. Both fretboards are rosewood, and both have maple fretboard options. And so the fretboards are the same. And then, of course, the scale is the same. So from the nut down to the bridge is 25.5. So a lot of similarities in those. The body shape is the same. So, you look at the price point, you got to say, okay, do I feel or hear or have this when I'm in my hands? Because I can't present to you how they feel. And I've heard, I'd like this one better than this one better. I've heard so many different between them both, but they're both fantastic and guitars. So it's great that we have both in-house. So if you're looking at trying to get a Silver Sky, it's a great way to just come down here and play them next to each other. And just kind of do what I did, have a lick in mind and then just play this one, play the SE, play the Silver Sky, play SE, and really just kind of listen and feel for yourself, because the truth is they're Paul Reed Smiths. They're fantastic guitars, and they're going to be pretty consistent any way that you have it. All the finishes are cool, very well done. But that is just kind of our presentation of, hey, this is just from a clean standpoint, really what the pickups just sound like. Because obviously through a plethora of pedals and amps and everything else, people's fingers are so different, the way they picks they're using. I mean, there's all these factors, right? So I just want to give you something really cool. Hey, here's the same lick, clean through both guitars. So I hope you enjoyed kind of hearing the difference of these guitars and maybe learning a little bit about them. Hit like if you did enjoy the video, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet. And if you'd like to know as we do more videos, because we drop videos every single week, you could just turn on notifications, We'll see you on the next one.